sky, the sun won't ask for what if it can rise. Look at your mind and ask yourself what keeps you trapped inside. Look at the lies that follow you when you run and hide. Look at the sky, the sun won't ask, the sun won't ask the world if it can rise. Look at the sky, the sun won't ask for what if it can rise. Look at your mind and ask yourself what keeps you trapped inside. Look at the lies that follow you when you run and hide. Look at the sky, the sun won't ask, the sun won't ask, the sun won't ask. The sun won't ask, 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 the sun won't ask the world.
sing is because of me. I'm like Ace, I have nowhere to sleep, so we roam on the road with the other three. Feeling old and alone, that we're young and free. Nowhere to go and no home, cause they're scared of me. Listen, Miss Vixen, to your cold heart knocking. It's your heart blocking it. Sky, what you fixin'? All the holes where life should be. What do your eyes see true? We are vicious, though we never intended to be malicious. True, we're all in this, fan out the boring and repetitious. Yes, we're suspicious, so we leave no trace when our job is finished. We are listless, and we tear away. Gets the leather, the blurs of cities. Together we fought wars in our heads, so many more real casualties. Bring us at ease, nay, just another way to go. None of us have any goals. I need to be wealthy or recover on time, 'cause blood live flies in their own skies. True, we are vicious, though we never intended to be malicious. True, we're all in this, fan out the boring and repetitious. Yes, we're suspicious, so we leave no trace when our job is finished. We are listless, and we tear away. Our boots hit the ground and they scatter away. They fall all around like they've made a mistake. And what have we done to keep up the charade? You'll never go home, we're all one and the same. We get off our horses with metal and shame. Step over the masses, who whisper our name. Restrain all our voices and swallow the pain.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Starladder Season 10. Today, I have good news. Chinese Dota is back. That's right. It's time for Starladder China to kick off. We've got 8 teams. Only one of them will make that journey to Kiev. Who's it going to be? Well, for the answers to that, we begin our journey with our first match of the day. And with that being said, it's going to be LGD versus Hyper Glory Team. The draft is underway, so let's go ahead and hop on into it. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and of course, I am joined here today by my good friend Blaze. Blaze, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. A little bit tired considering it is 5 in the morning for me, but since we didn't have any SCA Dota to cover for Starladder and I got a little bit of caffeine going, I should be just fine. Of course, we got some awesome teams here, Hyperglory Team and LGD. HGT, I got to see a little bit of their match versus Evil Geniuses in the WEC, but LGD, I haven't really seen that much of with this new roster, so I'm looking forward to see that as well.
Yeah, they looked brilliant in the one match I saw them play, but the next game they were not doing so hot, so I suppose I caught them in a good game. But yeah, we'll see. They ran the MMY Wisp, and that is one of the nice things about this team is I think adding MMY as a support, just in general in the Chinese scene, gives you that like extra dimension compared to, you have very solid supports elsewhere in the scene. Players like Banana and Sangsheng, for example, FY and Fenrir, but MMY just seems like he's got like those flashy kind of out of nowhere supports that you don't necessarily expect to see. So, well, with that being said, I expect big things from this LGD team. I think they're going to be top 2, top 3 in China, and probably perhaps even better than teams like Vici Gaming and Newbie. But, well, that's just me. Maybe I'm biased, but I am a fan. And with that being said, it was a first overall pick Razor from HGT. The reply from LGD was a Void Skywrath Mage. Bans pretty standard. The Dire Shaman banned out by HGT. And, of course, just really strong heroes in general. Batrider, Death Prophet, Lycan, no big surprises there. Tide was the reply from HGT, and while moving through the rest of the picks rather quickly now, we see HGT go ahead ban out Invoker and Viper. So, looking at LGD's lanes, they are a bit weak right now, and they need that kind of self-sufficient solo mid who doesn't require too much help. Someone that can match up against the Razor, and so far, they don't really have it. So, interesting bans, but pretty solid overall, I would say, from HGT.
Yeah, most definitely. So we'll have to see which of those LGDs comes up here today. If it's going to be the one you saw that you weren't really sure if, or it's kind of a precursor to their future and their potential as a team. Obviously, some very skilled players. For now, we're going to see the Nature's Prophet come out for the off lane. It's kind of a setup for the Mystic Flare in its own right. The Chronosphere is very reliable. The Nature's Prophet Sprout is just a kind of easy pickings there. They're all very squishy, and they all are very heavily affected by Ravage, but if Nature's Prophet tries to avoid the fights and just goes for a split push play and contributes with his ultimate, then we should still be able to see a lot of great play along those lines. As far as a mid laner, they're still going to be searching. I mean, technically this guy can be run mid, but we see that rather infrequently these days. As far as other heroes that are worth picking up in the pool, we do see the Earthshaker is available, a great hero against turtling against Nature's Prophet, stunning Void when he's in Chrono, and things of that nature. So maybe that's going to be something on their minds. But for now, chewing through reserve time, they're actually going to pick it up.
Yeah, we'll see the Earthshaker ban. Earthshaker ban. Earthshaker. I too need my coffee, please. But yeah, we see the Earthshaker picked up HGT, so they get a lot of crowd control here. Also, dare I say it, a pretty good lineup versus Faceless Void. You've got Tide, who in theory can be dealt with by Chronosphere, but with the Razor in particular, you've Static Link to try and drain his damage to the Chrono. The ultimate that will still go through, even if he Chronos you. And I like this pick in particular, the Earthshaker. Something that can, at least until he gets a BKB, allow you to punish or negate the effects of the Chrono. Just fissure from long range and fairly item-independent support. So I think this is a solid support pick in general, and particularly when you're up against a hero like Void or something along the lines of like an Enigma, just getting a little bit of D-push and so they can counter-initiate effectively. So I do like that pick quite a bit. And now we see LGD go Rubik, and man, there's some good spells to steal here. Plasma Field, Ravage, and Fissure, the 3 big ones. And LGD, very, very potent laning duo. We could see this Rubik and Skywrath Mage going for a lot of early aggression.
Yeah, if Earthshaker is a good pick, Rubik is just a great one. Being able to steal up like the Fissure, the Ravage, even the Plasma Field is really good spells to steal and halts early aggression if they were trying to just kind of go for the Death Ball play. All Rubik has to do is get 6, and he's going to be turning the tides against them. So we'll see if he's able to survive throughout the fights. That's the important thing here is every one of these heroes has relatively low strength gain. They're all intelligence based for the Faceless Void as well. So it's going to be difficult to tank up, and therefore it's going to be very difficult to survive the Ravage. But if the skill usage is on point, if they get the silence on the targets they need to, if Rubik might be able to steal a Ravage and turn it against the HGT lineup, then this could be a very, very huge pick for them. Nullfield's pretty good too, but I still think they need something with a little bit of frontline durability, something to go in and just deal with it. They can't really go Centaur with this laning configuration, so maybe something like a Brewmaster, which is surprisingly still in the pool.
You think for HGT, you're saying?
For LGD, actually, because they don't really
Oh,
have
okay.
anything to put and blink forward.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like HGT has some frontline tankers in the Tide and Razor. Not to mention picking a Brew versus Rubik is, and Scarith is a little questionable, but yeah, I agree with you. LGD could use an initiator like that. They need a solo mid, most likely. We did see occasionally the Nature's Prophet, safe lane, or even solo mid getting one position farm for the old Vici Gaming, something that Siler was running at TI4, but yeah, I'm not expecting that here in this particular game, so I'm with you on that one, and we'll see a Mirana. Great double stun combo, really potent ganking potential, and it gives them two very defensive supports. I think HGT they've got some potential here to find kills in the lanes, but at the same time, not really seeing a ton of late game, and should they fail to convincingly win the laning stage, I do worry about the matchup against the Void Prophet later on.
Yeah, it's going to come down to their mid-game team fight, when they can initiate, when they can kind of pick the battles that they choose, how they move the Moonlight Shadow, and those sorts of things. If it is indeed going to be the supportive Mirana, then obviously a lot is about the arrows as well. Razor isn't a hero that can really provide the setup for it, so you have to kind of rely on vision control as well as a little bit of luck to actually get those kills off. Maybe their Shaker rotates, but even his stun is relatively short at early ranks. You get like 1 second on it at level 1, so you have to be very careful how you use it.
Ooh. Yeah, good call, by the way, on the Brewmasters. We do see HGT deny that to LGD, but really quick Naga pickup by LGD, and I imagine this is a core Naga. I don't foresee us a core Skyreth Mage, but yeah, I'm curious how they're going to look to lane and play this one. I would imagine Sylar's handling the Naga Siren. We'll see Yao on... actually, this is kind of tough. Who's going to play what? Injuly is normally their... We've seen Injuly kind of playing a flexible role for this team, but you've got Yao, who has gone for heroes like Ember Spirit, but he's taken them off lane. Sometimes he's gone mid. I haven't seen them play that many games, so I'm not sure how they're going to look to lane it, but yeah, this is... oh, you know what? I actually have my teams mixed up on the overlay. Sorry about that, guys. But the draft has been showing the wrong teams for the past 2 minutes. But yeah, it looks like Sylar Naga Siren. So we are going to see the one position Naga. And I guess the main question is, do we just see it safe lane, or is there any chance that he takes it mid?
Yeah, I mean, either one would technically work. I would prefer to see the Naga on the mid over the Faceless Void, to be honest, but we'll have to see. I'm not so sure about this Naga's pick. It kind of feels like LGD are going to be on the defensive from the beginning of the game, and that the clock is just going to be continuously ticking for HGT. The LGD are going to be farming up. They're going to have the late game advantage, but getting there is going to be a real struggle against HGT's lineup. They pick up the Witch Doctor, so they get some extra push with their Voodoo Restoration, and as well they can rotate the Mirana into a one position role so that they can just focus on the early game aggression, not really caring to scale. Of course, Mirana does great with Snowball Farm, but doesn't have to have it just to make an impact in the earlier stages. So marching down the mid lane, we'll see the full roster of HGT, and they are really going to be looking menacing for the first 20 minutes of this game.
All right, with that being said, Blaze, let's go ahead and introduce our teams, guys. It's the inaugural match of Starladder China. It's a round robin with 8 teams, and the first place team will go directly to Kiev for the LAN finals. Already, the prize pool has eclipsed the $210,000 mark and continues to grow rapidly. It has grown a lot faster than Season 9, and thank you to everyone for your support and helping to make Starladder the longest-running Dota 2 tournament and probably the most successful at this point, I guess you could say. But yeah, with that said, we've got HGT on the smoke. S will be handling your Witch Doctor, Pretty Hall, the Earthshaker, ZSMJ, the old legend, playing the Mirana. The smoke actually was revealed. I don't think LGD saw this one, though, and maybe this will allow them to get the jump. They've gone in for Yao and MOI simultaneously, but the arrow hits MOI. The Fissure not even needed for this. They'll find the first blood anyways. I realized that my Dota 2 audio is muted on the stream. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, finish up the introductions. We have Icy, formerly of Old Rattlesnake, handling the Tide Hunter, and I believe I missed Kaka, who will be going mid as the Razor. And on the Dire side, Team LGD, definitely the more star-studded roster. Faith of IG, formerly on the Scarlet Mage. Yao, the only old LGD member, or from the TI4 LGD, I should say, who reprises his role. He'll be on the Faceless Void in the safe lane. MMY, Momoya from DK, formerly on the Rubik. You have Sylar returning to the LGD fold on the Naga mid, and that leaves Injulai as the off-lane 3 position, I imagine, Nature's Prophet. So, yeah, it's a good little start for HGT. LGD just not see that one coming.
Yeah, now they can actually go for an aggressive tri-lane here. There's a lot of potential to put pressure on the Void, maybe even get some kills on the Rubik, and in general just shut down farm. We're going to see Faith focusing a 2 versus 1 play on the mid lane where he'll be able to zone out the Razor. And since, of course, he doesn't have a point in passive at level 1, it's going to be very cost-effective. But even then, Kaka's still going to go in. Actually, this was a very active decision from him. He's going to have to tango up for a long time to get all his HP back, and in fact still is in pretty critical HP range with that Arcane Bolt. Up on top, though, Yao's going to be the one to go down. They do go for the stun combo, and it is already showing the strength of this aggro try.
Yeah. Well, headed towards mid. I was watching top, expecting to jump, and then I was like, oh shit, I might be missing something. Then they won in top lane, so yeah. Just it's a warm up cast, guys. I'll be more on the ball, but yeah, we did at least catch the end of that kill, so that's good. HGT off to a really good start, and you mentioned going for the Naga pick. It does weaken your lanes a bit in this situation, especially because there's a Razor mid. If this was a weaker solo mid, some sort of melee hero, a Dragon Knight, or something along those lines, then perhaps you can get away with the Naga and not require any support for her, but well, being forced to put Scarlet mid already. Sure, Kaka's not having the great time mid. He's still 4-1. And top lane, they've gone in again. The Fissures there in MMY. They stacked this one a bit with the arrow stone, but it's a long enough range arrow that they'll get the kill. S is now trapped behind the tower, and Yao will begin pursuit. But the Fissure will end soon, and, well, HGT, just 3 heroes behind the tree line. They've still got a creeper too, but they decide if we stick around, we may end up giving up 2-3 kills in return, and they will make the retreat in the end. And this will force the Scarlet Mage top. Faith has decided, I can't lane mid anymore. My team needs my help too much. And so now mid lane going to go quite well for Kaka if he's left in the 1v1. And even look at this bottom lane, Blaze. It's a Tidehunter versus a Nature's Prophet. Dare I say it, I think all 3 lanes very favorable for HGT.
Yeah, and this is what you expected from the draft. When you see the faces for the Naga Siren and how dependent they are on items and how they just really can't hold their own in the earlier stages, it just... it's an express victory for HGT, and they're really pushing their advantage here. So it's nice to see it. They have 3 kills on the board. One, of course, was kind of a gimme with the first blood, but even still, they're making some great plays, some great dives, and putting some real pressure on Void, who has a total of 3 CS so far, and is actually surprisingly not going for backtrack. He's looking to maybe bash under tower, time walk when he needs to escape, but not trying to go for the RNG survivability.
Top lane, they're diving on Yao. And meanwhile, the smoke is coming in mid. They're even bringing 4 heroes in for Kaka. So mid looks to be the easier kill. He gets lifted up. They smoke for this one, and it looks like the Razor, yeah, he'll fall. Big commitment, though, to get that kill. But top.
Yeah, now Void's all alone.
Looking for Yao. They could fissure this, but they need the arrow to hit before he can time walk out. And they'd rather just take the early tower with the single point Voodoo Restoration. Extremely early tier 1. And it is good. Nope. 3 heroes there, and none of them get the tower. Oh well.
Everyone gets some cash. That's fine enough, I guess. Arcane Boots and Blink will be great for the Earthshaker. The Tide gets a nice chunk of it, actually a larger slice. And the Mirana isn't, like I said, the most item-dependent hero, so she doesn't have to be rushing out one major item. She might pick up Phase Boots right now and just keep on moving across the map, staying active, staying aggressive, and looking for more and more arrows. Finally, Void will hit level 4. He'll get a point in backtrack, but he doesn't even have boots, so he can be run down pretty easy if they try to catch him out.
And with the tier 1 down, it's one of those situations where it's nice to get the early tower gold, but you have to be careful to keep the pressure up. Sure, Void has not had a good start, but you leave him alone against a hero like Mirana. She's not going to be able to harass him out of lane too easily, especially if these supports come in, which they're looking to do now. They find S in the river, and they'll look for the Witch Doctor kill, lifting him up, and then tossing him back in. Faith does have another Arcane Bolt. This also requires Injulai support, but the Fissure blocks them all out, aside from MOI, and he just won't be enough to get the kill. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Yao's come in, and it looks like they will end up finding the Nature's Prophet who TP'd in. The arrow was there from ZSMJ, and Yao he can't really do much to support his teammate. Everybody top except for Kaka, who's happily farming away bottom, and, well, Sylar, who can't do much in the mid lane as of yet.
And yeah, Yao's 1v4 now. The chain stun will come through. The time walk is gonna come out, though, but a couple more right clicks will come out from ZSMJ and from S, and the Sab will not be enough to keep him alive.
He even blew the salve as well. It's an expensive death for him, and Yeah, this is really bad for LGD. Well, so much for me being optimistic about them.
Well, I mean, it's about the draft, really. The last pick, Naga Siren, like, if they had gone for a Brewmaster or something more active in the laning phase, then they could expect maybe rotations from that lane to help out top at around level 6. But instead, we see this Naga Siren has found level 5, which isn't bad, considering everything, but isn't really going to be doing anything for the team, at least until the Song of the Siren, and even then, that's once every 3 minutes. So, quite limited in her contributions. She'll be trying to farm up the eastern side of her jungle as MMY has been stacking that up, but you just have all these heroes that are just so low HP, so easy to be just locked down and killed off without anything to contribute, and even when they do, it's not the most impactful.
Yeah, now you're looking at ZSMJ with phase boots up, another 1,000 gold in the bank, and he's going to have Arena of Aquila soon if he wants it. So getting to the point where his right clicks start to pack a punch, as Faith looks to drop an Observer Ward, might be punished for this. S and Pretty Hall both rotating in. Just going to club him for now, not choosing to throw the Fissure out yet. They will at this time, and Faith will go down. Well, MMY tries to TP out. Plasma Field's there. He can't do it. No neutral deny either. Frustrating sequence of events for LGD as they just can't get anything accomplished. And the harder they try to hold on to this game, the more it slips through their fingers, Blaze.
Yeah, and that's before Ravage comes out. Now we finally have it online for Icy. He's got Arcane Boots to back it up, so they're going to just start going for at least 4-man movements very shortly and just battering down towers. With the Voodoo Restoration, with the team fight behind it, there's really very little LGD can do to turtle it. Maybe use Trance to pull the lane back, but that's about it. Injuly has resorted to the jungle. I believe that soon enough, Sylar's going to have to take the same route. He does have an Invis Rune, and it's unlikely that they'll have any detection against that, so it's one Gidale Chilfree card on top of the song, but even still, surviving is not going to be really pulling forward ahead. They need to get farm, and right now the map is heavily contested.
I feel like this is a good mech game, like for the Tidehunter. Just go rush mech over the Blink Dagger, because you already the Razor hasn't had a great start, and you have such a strong 5-man now, and you look at LGD, no Skyreth Mage ult, it's not even close. If they just get the mech, like, I don't see LGD getting kills in Chronosphere at this point, and well, they don't even have it yet, but they will soon, so I'm wondering if we're just going to see a straight mech rush with the early Reign of Regen picked up. Yeah, does go Fedra, so I think this is a really nice move. Like, I don't see them needing the Blink. They have Moonlight Shadow, Initiate, and Fissure anyway, and this just makes their 5-man extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, the utility pickup of the Tidehunter here is twofold. It's not just the fact that he's picking up the mechanism so that the Razor doesn't have to, but he also went mid after Kaka got picked off by the 4v1 there. So essentially giving Kaka the safer place to farm. He's really kind of bouncing back. He's going to be able to at least get his tier 2 boots, and now with the mechanism behind it, he doesn't have to worry about his durability so much. So really, Tidehunter being the everyman as far as facilitating their mid-game activity, and that's going to be really good once they start grouping up.
Yeah, and he's already got the buckler up. The headdress recipe, I believe, was on the courier. He might have sold it and gone for the buckler first instead. I'm not sure, but either way, he's got the makings of it. You see LGD waiting top lane, but realistically, the CSMJ kill is not happening. I mean, even if they catch it with the silence, he's got Bracer, Phase Boots, and oops. And then Aquila. He's got 900 health. They really can't do much at this point except just farm and hope that HGT don't force the issue.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stats behind him, so this is a really good position for him to be in, where he can still get good experience at a distance, but be at no threat to anything but the Chronosphere, which right now, Yao is down bottom lane, has a Gloves of Haste. That could be either Treads, or it could be a Midas. Usually you see the Belt of Strength come out if it's going to be Treads, so I am worried that they're just going to be continuously putting themselves into this perspective where, yes, we will win late game, yes, we will win late game, but if the game ends in 20-25 minutes, then you're not really going to be seeing the benefit of those kinds of pickups.
Smoke from HGT, they made the rotation from around here, so it's been quite a journey towards the bottom lane, and they're about to connect. Meanwhile, LGD also rotating with the Chronosphere, but they're going to walk into the 5-man of HGT, who back off for a Midas on Kaka. So he's had a poor start in terms of farm and wants to give himself a little punch heading into mid-game. But yeah, I think given how desperately poor LGD is, like, oh, mid lane, Ravage was there as Sylar tried to force the tower, and he pays for it. Just got completely caught out.
They were taking no risk with that one. No song for you. They want to bring him down. They want to delay any major item he'll pick up, Radiance or otherwise. So worthy kill, but the Ravage is committed, and yeah, they are just going to gradually slow siege down the bottom lane. They're not really going to be able to force the issue in full until that mech comes out. It is on the core, as far as I can tell. I see we'll have that, but without any stuns, they kind of have to take the long haul. Like you said, that smoke was kind of beleaguered. They took a long time getting there, and they didn't really get that much out of it. So still in control of the game by far, but these last couple minutes have been kind of quiet.
Yeah, and they are, aside from that, pretty much itemizing for mid-game. The mech, the arcane boots on Tide, and now the drums, Akil, and Mirana. So definitely have some late-game potential here, as DSMJ is. Oh, he might find a support kill momentarily. He's going to spot out Faith and MMY both together in the woods. And Yao is sticking with him. He's just praying that these two spread out so he can find that easy pick. So far, not cooperating. Pretty
It's really
hard to
hard.
make a move that direction, but can't really walk up the river here undetected.
Yeah, with the
Instead, DSMJ is going to
Chronosphere.
go on mid.
Yeah, this is a much easier kill. No Chronosphere to worry about. You might even be able to just chain stun him to death with the help of the Earthshaker.
Oh.
The Fisher does miss, though, so ZSMJ
He can
has
still
to go
get this
for
with the double Starfall, but now the Invis rune's going to wear off, and DSMJ just takes too long. Can't find an opening. Wow.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that fissure was a bit short.
Was waiting for it, but yeah, even with the buff, the Fisher isn't big enough. Still, they're going to get the deny in the mid tower, and that's kind of what the point of that rotation was. They have Mechanism, they had that mid tower deny, but it looks like Faceless Void wants to go onto Icy. Let's see if he gets the opening for it. Only 2 points in Fable for Rubik, so really not that much damage to dump into it. And
They
even
can't
as,
kill him, dude. He's got mech. Like, there's no way they get that kill.
Yeah, even if he gets a couple of time locks, he only has it at 1 point in it. It's not like the maxed out build, so in that position, you can't even luck out on really good damage.
In July, almost went down bottom lane, and second tower deny of the game as a fissure clip Sylar. This is I guess for LGD they'll take whatever gold they can get.
Sure.
That is not ideal. That's missing out on like 700 plus gold each tower if he gets the last hit.
Yeah, a huge amount taken away, but all the same, at least they're getting some tower kills. There's a lot of times where you see these mass carry lineups where they don't even get a single kill for the first 30 minutes of the game, and at least they're getting some pressure on it. I'm not sure if that's preferable to it being denied, but at least it's not as bad as it could be. At least they can make use of the gold. Still, HGT not going to be making that mistake. In mid lane, the tower is not going to be forced into deny range, and bottom lane, they look to force the issue on it.
Mid, they found out Icy. Are they going to jump this one? Arrow came through, but didn't actually find an opening. And now ZSMJ can't do a whole lot here. Razor does get a kill on the Nature's Prophet, and Icy turns with the mech and the Ravage. He will hit 4. Now looks to make his retreat. Yeah, we'll commit a Chrono for this. Icy, though, very tanky with the mech armor buff, and with Moonlight Shadow here, it's almost enough to keep him alive. Not quite, but ZSMJ finds the counter kills. He's found 2. He's looking for a 3rd with this haste turn. He'll get MMY as well. It's a triple kill for ZSMJ, and with the kill bottom lane, it's 4 down. Oh. No. Haste turn wore off. Couldn't go for that team wipe, but what a messy turn.
Yeah, just the Ravage Anchor Smash times 2 was enough to bring everybody extremely low. But I'm really curious why Icy didn't use his magic stick there. He had the cast animation to get an Anchor Smash. He certainly had time to use his 10 stick charges to bring himself back up. And obviously with 4 points in Kraken Shell, that's actually hard to break through at that last little bit. But in the end, he will fall. ZSMJ getting the better turn of it, though. Mid lane down, bottom lane down, and so many in the grave. 12-2 is the current kill count.
Yeah, they really needed Yada Chrono before Ravage there. Like, if they could have killed the Tide without him meching or Ravaging, that would have been a much different fight, but just didn't get it off in time, and painful for LGD. Once again, CD map control, giving up kills, and they're just not farming either. Like, the Void for Yao, he was maybe looking for an early Midas, but then just decided, I need treads now. Well, they're dirt poor.
Definitely.
They've got no economy. Even in July, I mean, understandably, is going for a Necro Book, but it's really up to Sylar at this point to recover. I don't see anyone else keeping up with the amount of early towers.
Yeah, they might be able to find a kill here on Kaka. He's not very tanky right now, and they do have 2 flanking in. They are very well aware of his positioning, so he is essentially dead here. They're going to go with the ulti on TK and even get the Plasma Field Steal on top. Really nice movement from LGD supports.
Meanwhile, Pretty Han, ZSMJ just farming the Dire jungle, and, well, with Ravage down, I doubt we'll see HGT group up, but they should be looking to do something fairly soon. Like, you've had the mech on the Tide for some time. Your Earthshaker's getting close to a blink. Your Mirana's gigantic in the case of ZSMJ. And although LGD haven't gone greedy, and although they're really not that strong right now, in 10-15 minutes, that will change if you don't find more kills.
Oh, definitely. They have to just
Good timing
turn
window
up.
for them to get aggressive.
Yeah, they have to turn up the gas now because then 2,000 gold, Sylar's essentially going to have his Radiance, and without a Pipe of Insight, it's almost impossible to push up against that. Like, if you have perfect illusion control, you'll be okay with it, but right now they need to be looking towards getting a pick, getting Roche, and pushing down the map. This Midas on Razor will not give them like a 50-minute game. It'll give them a little bit more time to work with, but
speaking of that Razor, he just died, and Kaka's in trouble again. The Skywrath Mage Mystic Flare combines with the Chronosphere, and another easy kill for LGD. HGT
these
just seem a
wards.
little bit uncoordinated and a little discombobulated. Like, you know you have the strong 5-man right now. There's really no reason to wait, if you ask me. I mean, you're close to 2 Blink Daggers. If you want to farm those, that's fine, but in the meantime, you got to be a little bit more careful about your positioning. He was dove at the tier 2 bottom lane at the same time. There's no ward there. 4 heroes were off the map for LGD, and just sloppy play from HGT, letting LGD back in this game.
Yeah, at this point, there's no reason to be solo unless you have a major escape mechanism. You might as well just be pushing. You might as well just be fighting together. The Observer wards coming out from LGD are actually really nice. Getting the opportunities to go aggressive, smoke in, find pickoffs in the enemy jungle. That's going to give them openings that they didn't have before. It'll force supports down bottom, which allows your carries to farm and push up top. And in general, just gives you a better spread control. However, I do like Icy's item build. On the Tidehunter here, he's actually going to be following up his Mech Arcanes with a Pipe of Insight. And going for the full pipe is exactly what you need to do to secure your push against Wrath of Nature, as well as the Radiance Burn, which is going to be coming soon.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kaka's picked up a Staff of Wizardry, and I'm wondering, is this maybe a Necro bulk? It could be a 4-staff for sure, but honestly, if they want to push, it wouldn't be a bad choice. It's quite unorthodox either way on a Razor, and well, it will be interesting to see what item he goes for from here. Could go back for an Ags and just be starting with an odd item, but it's if you wanted to go Ags, you normally would see the point booster first. So
yeah, he's got Bottle and the Treads to switch to Intelligence. I don't think this is an Agadam. So the two that would stand out would be the Necro and the Rod of Atos to me. Because
that's true.
It's a nice synergy with what they already have going, which is just good ways to pursue, good ways to secure kills and guarantee that, as well as getting some extra tank. But it's hard to call. We're going to see actually the Sentry Ward show the Moonlight Shadow movement on the bottom lane, so they're going to try to get a sneak attack, and it's not really going to happen.
Maybe
perhaps
Sylar's close.
Whoa.
The Fissure's there. Maybe they didn't see this one coming. He gets blown up. Arrow was thrown out. Didn't get the animation for that, but HGT find a kill and under the shadow of the enemy tier 2 mid. Big kill. He'll get a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. He'll probably get this tower as well, and well, this is where LGD just have to go for trades, but the Glyph's been popped top lane, and well, they're not going to allow it to go uncontested. They will TP an Icy. He's way too tanky to bring down without additional backup. It's only Anchor Smash stolen by MMY. And in fact, Icy gets aggressive here. He'll gush MMY. He knows that it's going to be difficult to prevent them from engaging. As Yao TP's in mid, tries to get finish off the tower, but they do get the kill in the Rubik top lane in the end, and Faith just hides in the trees. Unable to do a whole lot here on the Skywrath Mage. Back to mid where the Chrono's been thrown out. Pretty Hall dropping fairly low, but gets off the Echo Slam. Turns on Yao. The Fissure can't get it off. 1 second to go, but before he can, he will go down. Kaka now in pursuit, thinking about an additional dive. Will end up backing off. So in the end, they lose the Earthshaker. They get the Rubik, and the tower top lane was killed off by was denied by the Mirana. So that's a triple deny on the tier 1s for HGT.
Wow. Yeah, that is. They are really controlling these towers extremely effectively to limit LGD's gold gain across the board. But you saw in mid the impact of a Faceless Void that only has treads inside that Chronosphere. Like, he was hitting him with a wet noodle, just barely doing any damage at all. Luckily, the Skywrath has some to throw on top of it, but no matter the case, he doesn't really do anything right now. They're going to try to smoke, they're going to try to move, but I really feel like a lot of the damage has been done. The fact that the Radiance was delayed a little bit more, the tier 2s are falling left and right, and that pipe is going to come out at about the same time that the Radiance does. Just a little bit behind, but even still.
Oh, they might spot Pretty Hall here soon. Dire Observer Ward about to reveal him. He's getting close. Oh, they just seen him now, and Pretty Hall's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger available. Can blink out if he's quick about it. The Echo Slam was stolen by MMY, and he just throws it on the ground. I think he thought he would get the Fissure for this, and with no Ravage, Icy unable to protect him and will watch his comrade fall. Then Mono Burn, so he can't really engage into this LGD squad. The rest of the team sitting towards mid is Faith and MMY. start moving past where the tier 2 tower is, perhaps looking to drop some observer wards. They'll get one out, and then they retreat immediately. Yeah, that was... he thought he had stolen Echo, and he just immediately Echo slammed the... Or Fissure, and he immediately Echo slammed the ground instead. But wasn't nearly in range for that one.
Yep. But it looks like items are going to be progressing here. The Radiance does come out for Sylar, and as well, Kaka actually does go for that Aghanim Scepter. Like you said, it was a very weird way to start with the Staff of Wizardry, when usually you want either more tank or more damage. But he's been spamming out his spells using his ultimate, and that's the route he chose to go. So confused us a little bit, but it's just going to be the tried and true, and that's fine for pushing up towers. If you want to bring down towers, racks, etc., Aghanim Scepter is still a great way to go. And works very well with what the heroes decide to do, as we've seen time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, if you want to get an Necro 3, well, Ags is going to help you push better anyway, and scales way better in the late game. And as far as, like, a Rod of Atos, Void still moves at, I mean, what is it, like 1,000 MS in Chronosphere, so that's not going to be particularly helpful against him. You've got Mirror Image on the Naga Siren to just distract you and potentially make you waste that Rod of Atos in fight, so... I wasn't particularly feeling either item, but yeah, I guess it's just a curious build-up, and Kako maybe wanted to leave his options open. In the end, though, they'll start pushing in the bottom lane, and the Ags has been delivered.
Yep, so now they can really bring down this tier 2 with extreme prejudice. And Sylar doesn't really have the illusion control right now to deal with it. Like, very soon he'll be spreading them across the map, blocking off creep spawns and things of that nature to make sure that the enemy doesn't have anything. But, Fishing Arrow. They're still going to breach the high ground here. Sylar has done nothing to radiate this wave, and they are at least going to get some hits here on the tier 3 already, chipping it down to 1,000 HP.
It's a good amount of damage, but without the Earthshaker here, as the bottom lane finally, LGD get a real tower, an undenied tower at the top lane. Yeah, I'm wondering here if HGT can actually push in. Refresher, perhaps being built nicely, and they'll go in with Moonlight Shadow. MMY out a bit too far, it looks like. Are they going to jump him? Icy's close, and now MMY's caught. The cask is there, they'll start it off. The arrow will fall up. The stolen Echo Slam thrown out again. Not very effective this time, though, either. And, they will end up getting the kill, but do they push on the back of this? That's really the question, Blaze. They have 2 heroes now back at the base. One towards the top lane, one mid, and it seems LGD, at least for now, have stalled the high ground attempt, and they're buying time for Sylar. Top lane, Pretty Hot jumps in with that Blink Dagger. Echo Slams in July, but can't finish the job, even with the Fissure damage. Need another Enchant Totem for this one. Lumbering closer and closer. The Phase Boots do cooldown. Fissure, just a few seconds, doesn't even need it. Pretty Hot finds a solo kill. Didn't get the arrow help he was looking for.
Mid.
Sylar will take the tier 2 mid in the meantime.
Yeah, that's actually really huge for him. He's going to be able to build up BOTs if he wishes. Yasha's into Manta's obviously a build-up that he can look into as well, but... getting those 2 actually guaranteed tier 2s and not having to worry about the no!
The plays. I see too quick, man. I think that was just a double tap there, judging by his direction, but gets out real fast anyway.
Yeah, quick movement from him and an unfortunate whiff from...
Do you just go high ground now? Like, I think you just go while Chrono's down.
Yeah, I think you can definitely try. We'll see how ZSMJ uses the illusions. If the mirror images cut the wave in the central part of the map, then...
You can already see it from in July.
Oh, nice. So they'll get exactly 1 creep wave. They won't have a pipe for it, just the mechanism, since IC is, as you said, going for that Refresher Orb. So they're going to march through here, and with Kaka's Eye of the Storm, they can do some real damage to this tier 3, but with only 1 creep wave, can they really finish it off?
Well, it'll be significant damage. Whether or not they finish is another question, but it's 50 seconds for LGD. Cutting the wave to try and slow down the push, but not fully preventing it. The wave now cleared off, and, well, Kaka still fighting his way onto this tier 3 tower. In come the Necronomica minions, and this may force them back entirely. If they don't keep on hitting this tower, another wave will spawn, and it drops low. It drops extremely low, and still 30 seconds to go in the Chronosphere. But they haven't broken it down fully just yet. Pretty Hot throwing out a Fissure. Actually, no Rubik's Steel on that one, and they will be forced to retreat in the end. The Naga Illusions and the Prophet, at least for now, do what's needed. And you can already see the pains coming out from now. He's saying, you got to cut this wave. You can't let them push in, but it's not much of a wave in the front. They're all sitting at about 10 HP, but the secondary wave that's coming in, that'll be enough to bring down this, at least give them another round of attacks on this tower. Still they wait, and Chronosphere has now come down. They also have Nagasone of the Siren ready to go. HGT, they don't... Oh, they're going to give away an Enchant Totem. Not a Fissure. Good play by Pretty Haw. using the enchant totem afterwards to deny the fissure steal, and the tier 3 mid will fall. Now the trade. Sylar looking to initiate here. He gets the Assault on 2, but they're fairly spread out, and Yao doesn't have a great way into this. Can get just one. Blinking forward is Icy. The Chrono completely whiffs by Yao, and that just might be it. This could be the first lane of Rex for HGT, marching forward onto MMY. They'll shred him. They'll look for In July as well, but the Echo Slam from Pretty Hall, and even better too, Hero Fissure. Very nicely done. Perfect placement, and HGT break through. Yao just didn't have his Chronospheres on point when they needed them, and it's GG. HGT. Yeah. They surprised the star-studded LGD roster, who, I guess, with this loss and their performance in WEC, you gotta say they're looking like they're still trying to find their footing.
Definitely. The Icy Ravage there was just absolutely impeccable, dodging out the Chronosphere, making sure that he wasn't in it when it was cast, and when he blinked in, he also was able to avoid it while hitting 4 heroes. Man, this guy has such a great mind of the zoning in the team fight and just where to position himself perfectly. That was really the one that was able to seal the deal. Without that Ravage, obviously, this game would have been dragged on a lot longer, and perhaps we would have seen LGD fight their way back. But out the draft, they knew that they were going to have trouble in the early game, and unfortunately, it was just more than they could handle. I mean, the KDA says a lot here, a lot of 0 kills, multiple deaths scenarios, and even the Naga Siren, who had an okay time with 2, 3, and 1, still got the Radiance at a belated time and wasn't able to utilize the illusions effectively enough to eliminate the creep waves.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we've got a total of 4 best of 1s coming your way. This was only the first one. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Blaze. You can follow him on Twitter at BlazeCasting. Myself at LD Dota. Guys, we will be coming back soon for your second match of the day. That match will be, let's see, do we have our schedule ready? I'm still really rusty with the Starladder. It's going to be IG versus lgd.cdec. Another match where the worst team, or at least the lesser known team in terms of brand recognition, has been making waves. lgd.cdec had that great ultra long game versus LGD and WEC. They've taken big matches off of some of these top teams, so don't be surprised if they do it again. But yeah, with that being said, we'll be back soon. You're watching Starladder China, presented by Beyond the Summit. Stay tuned.